Hi guys, this is Awesome Truth Reacts back with a recap video, WWE Smackdown, and we're in Chicago.
Yeah, CM Punk hometown, and best way to start the show with CM Punk, and of course he did his promo talking about the favor because nobody knows what's the favor.
Yes, and then Paul Heyman comes here. Everybody's cheering ECW. Paul Heyman is laughing. CM Punk is like, you can't escape that.
Yeah, definitely. You never gonna stop. That's Paul Heyman.
So, and then they were just having fun time. Then Paul Heyman asked CM Punk, "Can I get a favor?"
No, he needs to find out what's the favor. Not even Paul Heyman know what's the favor.
Yeah, Paul. Like I said, Paul Heyman asked CM Punk for a favor, and the favor was for him to find out what the favor was for CM Punk.
I know, man. Let's see, and that's how I end. It's funny. You just end with knowing what the hell is the favor. So right after the CM Punk promo, we have finally the debut of Rey Fenix, and guess who he wrestled?
He wrestled Nathan Frazier, tag team champions with Fraxium. So, Nathan and Axiom don't mess with their matches as a tag team and even as single stars.
Nathan is perfect for Rey Fenix because they got like a luchador style of wrestling, so the match was incredible.
Yes, it was incredible, and then Rey Fenix defeated Nathan Frazier, and then Rey Fenix had a promo similar to what happened with Penta when Penta defeated Chad Gable, and then Penta was saying it's a Penta era, and Rey Fenix was giving a similar vibe to that, and it was very passionate and excited to finally be in WWE.
Yeah, he just kneeled to WWE and said thank you. And perfect ending for a premiere match, a debut match.
So we get an interview by Braun Strowman with Byron Saxton. Braun Strowman just ready to, fight Jacob Fatu. Then Solo and Tama Tonga just comes, interferes for no reason. It's not even their business, even though Jacob Fatu said, it's my business.
Yeah, they just want to start trouble. So, I don't know where LA Knight came to kind of help Braun Strowman, which I don't know if I could agree with that, even though I get it. So, what do you think about that part?
Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, Tama Tonga, making fun of Tama Tonga was funny, and making fun of Solo Sikoa. So, LNA is, usually very funny. And, the faces got to be together with the faces.
So as soon as they finished the promo, LA Knight and Tama Tonga had their match. Of course, so Sikoa had to be in the middle of the match. But somehow, some way, LA Knight managed to get the win. What do you thought about the match?
Yeah, they had a pretty fun match. LA Knight and Tama Tonga, Solo interfered, and LA Knight, stopped both of them and had a solid win.
So right after the LA Knight, we see a promo where Paul Heyman being interviewed to find out what's the favor, but they still don't know. So when a car passed by, think it's Roman Reigns. Guess who came out?
Steph freaking Rollins. Steph Rollins was just hilarious to Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman is not trying to deal with Steph Rollins right now.
Paul Heyman is stressed out, and Seth Rollins being so funny right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Seth Rollins was like the funniest thing tonight, but we talk about it later.
So we get the face-off in the ring. We got Wade Barrett interfering, and we get Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, Wade Barrett is the moderator. He trying to keep the peace, and they both did the thing. Charlie barely got to talk because they was just booing her like Dominic for some reason. She couldn't even talk. So, what do you thought about that part?
Yeah, that was crazy with Charlotte Flair getting booed out in the arena. It was crazy.
Yeah, Charlotte was just laughing that she couldn't talk. So she didn't really get to say her promo like she wanted to. But I think Tiffany did pretty good with the promo. She killed it tonight too.
So yeah, it worked out. And like you said last week, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter now.
Let's see.
No, not her victory. The promos.
I mean, Charlie didn't really get to talk because of the crowd, so she got two boo. So she's still kind of over Charlie. So let's see what happened.
Who fought is that though?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, it was a good promo on both sides, to be honest. So even though Charlie Tiffany barely talks,
yeah, Tiffany was was catching strays though, talking about the personal life of Charlotte Flair. And I was seeing a lot of reports of her in the talk show, and Tiffany actually mentioned that. So mentioning these little strays, Tiffany was cooking.
Yeah, she did cook though. I mean, Charlotte got stopped at the cross, so I gave her that. So after the Charlotte promo with Tiffy, we had the tag team match where Motor Machine versus DIY. And of course, Motor Machine won, and now they're gonna face off the Street Profit. Sorry about that mistake. Tell me.
So yeah, I thought DIY and the Motor City Machine Gun had a great match. I don't think it was a course Motor City Machine Gun. I thought it was a close, even match. But Motor City Machine Gun had a nice victory, and we're gonna see whenever we're gonna get this tag team championship because there's 2 weeks, from WrestleMania. So I don't know if it's gonna be next week, the week after that, or WrestleMania.
They think he said it's gonna be next week or WrestleMania. So
Yeah,
let's
we'll
see what happened with this tag team match, which is gonna be interesting because I actually want to see this. They have it wrestle, right?
I don't think so.
No, so yeah, it's gonna be a good match if it goes to WrestleMania.
So we get the Pretty Deadly and the Miz and Carmelo Hayes, and they're talking back and forth. Miz is making fun of Pretty Deadly losing, the tag team championship opportunity.
Yeah,
in London.
Pretty Deadly's making fun of the Miz. Well, the bad movies he has in the past.
And he's making fun of, at least the movies came out, not like the Pretty Deadly musical. So I give the Miz that. At least, the movies came out, he gets the money from it. So, then Carmelo gets involved in this, and the Miz is talking about the Miz don't miss. That's what.
And yeah, they're working on that phrase, but no, I see that's gonna be a future storyline. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be that. I wouldn't be surprised it will be a match next week.
Yeah, most likely this will be a next week match. So it's gonna be interesting to see this little new tag team that's going on, and Pretty Deadly.
Pretty Deadly where Miz the Miz. Carmelo no Miz. My bad.
Or Awesome Him.
Yeah, they need a tag team name for sure.
So we get Naomi versus B-Fab. Before then, Jade Cargill tries to attack Naomi, but that doesn't really do anything because Naomi, basically swatched B-Fab very quickly.
Yeah.
Very fast match.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised because Naomi got beat up by Jade Cargill right before the match started, but
it didn't really matter, and B-Fab had a longer match with Charlotte Flair than Naomi. So it's good that they're building Naomi as a big, bad girl. But like, I don't know about this for B-Fab, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused
because how are you gonna have like a solid match with Charlotte Flair and then just lose to Naomi like fast?
Yeah, losing fast. Not losing to Naomi, just losing fast. But yeah, I agree with you with that part.
So then we get Nick Aldis after they started, fighting, and Nick Aldis was over it, and they finally announced the match that we all knew was gonna happen with Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Very excited for that match, and we'll see what's gonna happen in WrestleMania.
Yeah, great build up for WrestleMania match. So I can't wait to see it.
So it starts with Nick Aldis coming out, and talking about, in life, in WWE, don't try this at home and everything. And we saw Kevin Owens just in the backstage, so that's why I predicted Kevin Owens to come. Then Kevin Owens came, and he was saying like a real life promo. This didn't sound like him being a bad guy. It sounded very realistic, saying that he got to go do a neck surgery in the worst timing that he could do it right now, and he's doing it for his family, and it sounded very real. Like, I didn't know if this was a work or anything, so I didn't really know what was going on, to be honest.
Yeah, I wasn't sure you were going to pass it to me. Yeah, I was kind of confused with this promo because it seemed he's really legit injured, and then Randy Orton came out. So I'm mad confused if it's real or not. I think it's a real injury for Kevin Owens, but time will tell.
I guess so, because we'll find out when we get more information on social media and everything, and because Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, they didn't even interact. You would have think there would have been an interaction or Kevin Owens a swerve, but nothing really happened to that. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it got me confused, especially when Randy came out. So, yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do.
So Nick Aldis, fortunately tells Randy Orton that, he's not gonna have no more WrestleMania match. And I guess Randy Orton wasn't very happy about this information and RKO Nick Aldis.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I will be mad too. So this part again, I'm kind of confused because I don't know if it's a story or it's part of the.
Real life situation that's going on.
Yeah, so we gotta let's see again. We gotta see what's gonna happen.
So yeah, and Randy Orton just RKO him. What is our Randy Orton can't really do anything for the 2 weeks.
Yeah,
They can't really build something in 2 weeks that fast or put him in a random match, but I don't know.
let's see what happened.
So we have Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu in the last man standing match for the number one contender for the United States Championship.
And they had a real physical match. Like it was like they even have that oh my god moment outside the ring, which it was incredible.
They had like 3 oh my god moments.
A couple, yeah, it was a couple, and the way it ended, like I said, I was surprised, but not really because on my prediction I kind of screwed up. I think I forgot it was a one standing match. I don't know why I forgot, but yeah, the better man won. I think Jacob Fatu, he did pretty good. What do you talk about the match?
Yeah, they had a fun, exciting match, and we're gonna see Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight maybe in WrestleMania. So we get Roman Reigns, getting out his car, and then finally coming out, and Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman interacting, and then he's saying, "Yes, my tribal chief. No, my tribal chief. Yes, my tribal chief." Every time Roman Reigns, asks for a question, then we get Seth Rollins instead of CM Punk, even though we want to know what the favor is.
Yes, and the main reason that Seth Rollins went there, and Seth Rollins let them know why he went there because he wanted to find out what's the final favor because Seth Rollins knew it don't matter what favor CM Punk wanted, Roman's not gonna like it. So no, Seth Rollins just went there for fun because he knows that Roman was not gonna like the favor.
But Roman Reigns had an interesting point, not saying nobody's gonna trust Seth Rollins with his loyalty. So interesting key point.
Yeah, so after Seth Rollins came out, we finally had the song and the entrance for CM Punk where we got all 3 of them together.
Then skip a little past to that. CM Punk finally says, what the favor is gonna be about.
And the favor, to my surprise, he wanted Paul Heyman to be by his side, which
it's something that I predicted in the beginning of the show, like in our reaction videos on our TikToks. So because that's what I was thinking. That was the only right thing. And this is go back to history. Go back to like 2014 when they were talking about whenever CM Punk is finally opportunity to go to WrestleMania, it's gonna be Paul Heyman in his side. So I just felt like that was gonna be the favor. So, but Roman Reigns wasn't feeling about that.
yeah, definitely. So, oh wow, it was real interesting. So after that, Roman wanted to find out from Paul Heyman, is he going with CM Punk or Roman Reigns?
And Roman Reigns like, come on, my wife, man. We've been through it. We've been through hell. We've been through back and forth. I saved you and all this. Basically guilt tripping Paul Heyman, making him feel bad. And Paul Heyman said, "No, my tribal chief. I gotta go do the favor." Because mind you, if you go back in the backstage and Seth Rollins, he looked in the camera, eye to eye, and said, "Whatever the favor is going to be, I'm going to do it." He literally
He
said
already
it.
promised, yeah.
He already promised
It
it.
was already too late.
Even with his OTC, he was late. So yeah.
So it was real. It was interesting, and of course, the Roman was laughing.
So we get a Seth Rollins and CM Punk face off. Seth Rollins didn't interfere because it was really none of his business today, and he was actually entertaining and not crying like last week.
Yeah, I like I said before, he just wanted to be there because he knew Roman Reigns was gonna be mad, and of course he got mad, and CM Punk had to give him the GTS. So now they're just facing off where no, I like how Seth Rollins just left and think he do nothing because he just was laughing the whole time.
Yeah, perfect.
And yeah, that's how the show ended. Which I thought it was interesting SmackDown tonight. What do you talk about this?
It was pretty good.
And like always, like I always say, like if you like what we doing and we got what you doing, just give us a like and follow us at.
TikTok, Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube.
But no, I just want to say thank you and we see you in our next video.
Peace.
Peace.